The rhythm, stress, and intonation patterns used in speech are referred to as prosody. Pitch, speed, volume, and rhythms and other components all play a part in adding to the overall musicality of speech. They consist of components like rhythm, pace, stress, and intonation. The rise and fall of pitch in speech is known as intonation, and it is used to express emphasis, feelings, and grammatical structure. Specific syllables or words to communicate significance or contrast is known as stress. Speech flow and coherence are influenced by the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables, which is known as rhythm. Tempo, which has to do with speech rate, affects how listeners hear and comprehend information. Collectively, these prosodic elements are essential to communication because they facilitate the expression of emotions, the intricacies of meaning, and the engagement of listeners.
First, we have here volume. Volume refers to the loudness or the softness of your voice when you speak. It plays a crucial role in effective communication. It's important to use the right volume per situation. For example, if you're speaking to a large audience without a microphone, you'll need to speak louder so that everyone can hear you. On the other hand, if you're having a private conversation, a softer volume is more appropriate. Volume can also convey emotion. For example, raising your volume can express excitement, while lowering your volume can express sadness or seriousness. I have here an example. Listen well.
Pirates are evil. The Marines are righteous. These terms have always changed the course of history. Kids who have never seen peace and kids who have never seen war have different values. Those who stand at the top determine what's wrong or what's right. This very place is neutral ground. Justice will prevail, you say. But of course it will. Whoever wins the war becomes justice.
Your turn. You may pause or take a screenshot. You can practice by reading this passage out loud at different volumes. Controlling your volume can help convey your message more effectively. It's important to use your voice properly to avoid straining your vocal cords. Project from your diaphragm rather than just from your throat. Another is projection. Projection or voice projection is the strength of speaking or singing whereby the human voice is used powerfully and clearly. It is a technique employed to command respect and attention, such as when a teacher talks to a class or by an actor in a theater. Projection is about carrying your voice effectively to reach a larger audience or fill a room. Actors often refer to this as having a stage voice. It is essential for public speaking, performing on stage, or being heard in a large venue. It is a technique where you use your diaphragm to expel more air through your vocal cords. The result is a slightly deeper pitch or a rounder, more complex sound. I have here an example. Listen well.
All men are not created equal. Some are born swifter afoot, and some with greater beauty. Some are born into poverty, and others are born sick and feeble, both in birth and upbringing, in sheer scope of ability. Every human is inherently different.
Your turn. You may pause or take a screenshot. You can practice this passage by reading it out loud. Try imagining you are giving a speech and projecting your voice as if you are speaking to a large crowd. Don't forget to speak from your diaphragm, articulate clearly, and emphasize important points.
Now let's discuss another prosodic feature, which is the pitch. When we say pitch, just like in music and linguistics, it also refers as the highness and the loudness of the sounds, and as fast as low duration. Now I have here a sentence. For example, It was dark and spooky night. It wouldn't make sense these words in a higher pitch, like for example, when it was speak to babies, for it will disrupt the atmosphere. For readers, it would be read as in the lower tone to maintain an appropriate creepy mood. Now that I have already explained what is pitch, I challenge you to do this sentence using appropriate pitch.
Now we come up to another prosodic feature of speech, which is stress. Not that stress, but this stress. Stress is the degree of force or prominence given to a particular syllable or word. It brings emphasis and extra loudness on a given particular syllable or word.
Stress is represented by a stress mark.
Take note that we only stress vowels and not consonants.
And only one word has one stress.
We have two general types of stress, which are word stress and sentence stress. When we say word stress, it shows that only one syllable in a word is stressed.
Monosyllabic words or one-syllable words are stressed when said in isolation, like the characters from Inside Out. We have joy and sad. Multisyllabic words or words with two or more syllables have only one primary stress. We have two-syllabic words, parent and suspend. Next is three-syllabic words, carnival and delicious. Another is four-syllabic words, literature and professional. Five-syllabic words, inevitable, supplementary.
Now we have sentence stress. Sentence stress shows which words are being stressed in a sentence. A sentence may have a different meaning once the stress is being shifted to another word.
An example for sentence stress: who told him the sad news? I told him the sad news. To whom did I relay the news? I told him the sad news. What kind of news was relayed to him? I told him the sad news. See the difference? Let's have an activity. Where do you put the stress in the following words? Away, delicious, communication, autobiography. Comment down below your answers. Another prosodic feature of speech, we have intonation. Intonation is the variation of speech in a spoken language. We have the rising-falling intonation and the rising intonation. Rising-falling intonation or 2-3-1 pattern start with the normal pitch, then go up on the accented syllable, and go down on the last syllable in the sentence. We have two types of rising-falling intonation. Shift is when the voice is raised on the stressed syllable and goes down on the other remaining syllables in the sentence. Glide is when the stressed syllable is the last syllable in the sentence. There is movement within the syllable. For example, following the sentence pattern of shift, that's expensive. We know that the stress is on the second syllable of expensive. So we raise the bar to 3 and down for the rest of the syllables. Next, we move on to the glides. Turn off the lights. Remember that in glides, the stressed syllable is the last syllable in the sentence. Since the last word is light and it only has one syllable, then you must not raise your intonation. It is also used for information questions or questions that require definite answers. The rising intonation or the 2-3-3 pattern. The voice starts with the normal pitch, then goes up on the accented syllable, and remains up till the end of the sentence. This pattern is used for questions that are answerable by yes or no. We have some examples here. Let's read. Are you ready to go? My pitch is rising towards the end of the question, especially on the last content word, Go, which is answerable by yes or no. We also use rising intonation when asking tag questions. Example, it's raining, isn't it? The rising intonation suggests that we're not sure and would like a response from the other person. Let's have an activity. Identify if the sentence is rising falling intonation or rising intonation. Number 1, what's the matter? Number 2, is the play on Friday? Number 3, this is my friend. Number 4, happy anniversary. Number 5, let's just leave him alone, should we? Don't forget to comment your answers in the comment section.
Alright, let's move forward to the next prosodic feature, which is juncture. Juncture means the sound quality signaling a words of a pause and or pauses.
Here are all the types of junctures.
Here is the examples. For single bar juncture, the sentence is, one who gets irritated easily is unhappy. For double bar juncture, the example is, Mr. Ronald Pascual, the singing professor, teaches English. For the double cross juncture, the sentence example is, a vision without action is a daydream. An action without vision is a nightmare. Now, let's try these sentences and put your answer in the comment box.
The term speech rate describes speaker speed, which is commonly expressed in words per minute. It can differ widely amongst people and be affected by things like communication setting, cultural background, and language proficiency.
A fast speech pace, for instance, might be between 180 and 200 words per meter, whereas a slower rate might be between 100 and 120 words per meter. However, according on the speaker and the circumstances, these figures may differ significantly.
Ultimately, prosodic elements of speech, such as intonation, stress, rhythm, and tempo, enhances our ability to communicate by giving language a sense of melody, emphasis, and tempo.
Stress draws attention to important details and provides subtle, whilst the intonation leads us through grammatical constructions and emotions. While tempo determines the interaction's pace and tone, rhythm influences the speech coherence and flow. When combined, these prosodic components give our words a richer meaning that goes beyond their literal interpretation, promoting more meaningful interactions between speakers and listeners as well as more successful communication.
Being aware of and making use of prosodic elements improves our capacity for self-expression, intention-giving, and meaningful conversation with others.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated.